I grew up very stereotypically, man. I didn't play basketball, football. I grew up playing ping pong. Competitively. That was a serious national sport back home, man. You know, I didn't go to any like fun summer camp, space camp. My dad sent me to a ping pong training camp in Guangzhou, China. I almost died. It was 100 kids competing for one spot on the national team. It was basically Fortnite with ping pong paddles. We took that seriously though. My dad would take me to every practice, every tournament game, and he always tried to give me a pep talk before every game. But you know, Asian parents, they're way too honest. So every pep talk just turned into an insult. Like he would come up to me and be like, Jimmy, you're going to play well, okay? Even though you're slow, even though you're weak, and you suck. And then he would just walk away. I was very good at math. That's a big Asian stereotype. I think there's some truth to that. Not because of some weird genetic thing, just because our parents care so much more about mathematics and academics, right? You guys seen it? You guys seen those like Kumon learning centers in those strip malls, right? Right? Kumon learning centers, for you guys that don't know, are basically detention camps for young Asian children. You can tell that place is kind of f***ed up by the look of its logo. Because it's supposed to be a smiley face, but it's not really smiling. It's just like, man. My parents were way too cheap to send me to Kumon. They got a different strategy. They never let me use a calculator until I turned 15, so I can work on my brain function. That's an old school Chinese strategy. You know, so when I turned 15, it was a very special occasion. It was basically my quinceañera. My dad just gave me a TI 83 plus. And he looked me in the eyes, and he was like, you're a woman now, okay? But when you're a kid, when your parents tell you you can't do something, what do? You rebel, right? So when I was 14 years old, I stole my brother's calculator. I stole Roy Rogers' calculator. And I locked myself in my room, and I started rebelling. I started doing math homework. Other kids were like around with like alcohol and drugs. I was up some problems, you know? Locked myself in a room. I was just punching in numbers. I was like, oh man, this feels great, you know? It's so wrong. It's awesome. My dad was pissed. He was knocking on the other side of the door. He doesn't like locked doors in the house. And he was screaming. He was like, Jimmy, what are you doing inside? Come out right now. I know you're in there using a calculator. Come out right now. I was so scared. I didn't know what to do. And he unlocked the door and he came in. I went into full panic mode, so I just threw away the calculator and I pulled down my pants. I was like, Dad, I was just jerking off. And he came in and he looked at me and then he looked at the math homework. And he was like, good, very good, very good. Very good. You must have really like math. That's good. That's good. Keep it up. Because there's nothing that will make your Asian father more proud than to see his son jerk off to his math homework.
I remember when I told my mom for the first time that I wanted to do stand-up, she was like, oh, yeah. Me and your dad used to go see live comedy all the time back when we were dating. Which, ugh. Gross, right? Like, I get that my parents were human or whatever before I was born, but keep me out of it, okay? Yeah, I want a respectful distance from my elders. That's all I ask, okay? Because I had a friend growing up who was like so close to his parents that he called them by their first names. Yeah. You guys have any friends like that? No one had any white friends? No? Nah, he was kind of weird, this friend. Like, I remember I went over to his house and he was yelling at his dad. He was like, yo, Vincent, give me a Capri Sun. Like, Jesus Christ. Vincent? That is your father, right? Show a little respect. What are you going to do next? His wife? That's your mother. Gross. Unless it's your stepmom, in which case, hey. All right, we've all seen that one. You know what I'm talking about? Just fire up the old incognito window. That's all I ask, okay? Nah, that's gross. You guys brought it up. Don't look at me. I'm trying to make this a family show, okay? Parents are here. My God. And hey, stepmom content. That's about as family as it gets. You know what I'm saying? Yeah? Let's keep it in the family content. Yeah? Hell yeah. Yeah. Yeah, my parents very supportive of this career. Suckers. Yeah. Fumbled a great retirement plan. And here I am, still doing it over a decade later. Which, yeah. Pretty strange. I think starting something that young, though, you kind of do it for the wrong reasons, you know, because I was 16, I was kind of a weird nerd kid. So I thought doing stand-up would make me, like, less socially awkward. It didn't work. Right? Like, I just recently ran into a friend on the street, unexpectedly, which that should be illegal. Like, you want me to make spontaneous conversation? Kill me. I did my best, you know. I asked this friend, I was like, oh, how are you? Pretty good. Thinking on my toes. And he responded, and then he asked me back, how are you? Which, I know that one. Well played, sir, yeah. So I responded, and then I asked him back, how are you? Which, it's one too many, right? We're only allowed one per person. That's off by one. My bad. See, comedy didn't work, okay? Still f***ing awkward, and should have picked another profession. And I had other options, right? Even before comedy, even before computers. I'm sure you guys can tell this about me. I was supposed to be a professional basketball player. Yeah. Thank you. Yeah. Don't know why you're laughing, but okay. Yeah, thank you. You know, I played for 8 years growing up. I started at 2'10". That's a height. Not a time, okay. I get it. I didn't have like the height or the wingspan to be a successful basketball player. But, you know, I'm glad I played because I learned a really valuable lesson that I could use for a future in entertainment, which is this, you know, doesn't matter. You work really hard, you practice every day, and your dreams will still be crushed, okay? So, good to know early. I say teach it in the womb, okay?
My dad kicked me out. I don't know if you've ever been kicked out by your parents, but that's one of the first moments in life when you just realize what you don't have. You know, all I did have was an attitude. I'm in the room with my attitude, packing up all my video games and all my clothes in a suitcase. Then I hear a voice from the other room, don't touch my suitcase. Where am I supposed to put my belongings? You know how depressing that is? You walking down the street with all your shit in a trash bag with a rip at the bottom. I'm looking inside every car, hoping I recognize someone that can change my life and save me. I'm like, is that Jonathan's mom from 7th grade? Maybe I could live with them. And it wasn't even that my dad kicked me out. It was how he did it. My dad kicked me out on Father's Day. Like it was a gift to himself or something. You know, my mother, I don't even get her. Overly encouraging. 4 years ago, she quit her job. 0 savings. She said, Jesus is gonna pay her bills. I stand in front of you 4 years later. My mother has 0 debt. She made me a believer because I found out that I'm Jesus. mothers prepare you all different, you know? Like when I lived with my dad, he kicked me out. I don't feel like single moms kick you out like that. You know, I feel like a lot of times you just leave on your own one day because you just get tired of their mouth. One day you like, dang, ma, all you do is nag and complain, ma. All you do is tell me what to do. I'm leaving to find me a wife. See how she was preparing you? You didn't even, you didn't even know? Right? I got homeboys that don't date women with kids, which I don't understand, because it changed my life. I never thought I could have such a deep love for this child. Support check. Every other Thursday, me and Stepman wait outside by the mailbox. I got this new number I do with my hand for the mail lady. I go. She hands me the check. Because that's how Stepman and I bond. We buy stuff with the child support check, you know? It's not a lot of money, but we get to spend time together, you know? My close homeboys, they don't even know. They just know the stuff. They're like, dude, where you get them pants? I'll be like, my baby daddy. You need to get you one, Playboy.